Welcome into the CHGO White Sox pregame show, coming to you live from Studio A of our CHGO offices here in the rainy West Loop of Chicago. I'm your host, Sean Anderson. Alongside me, Sir Lawrence.
Hello.
You can follow him at Eknerwall23. He's our CHGO White Sox community leader. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me at Sean_W_Anderson. You can follow the show at CHGO_White Sox. We're being produced today by Sarah.
Hi.
Hello. And the White Sox are scheduled, to take on the Cleveland Guardians at 6:40. We are here to preview a game that might not happen, Herb. The old Jerry Reinsdorf special.
Yeah, I think it eventually will get going, but 100% of the area's coverage would rain right now. So I think in the next hour we'll be knowing a little bit more of when we're going to be playing, because it looks like the 9 and 10 o'clock hours are clear. So we could be here for a couple hours watching nothingness and then, have a post game at midnight, which I would not like.
Herb Skilling over here.
You know what you should do? Rami McLoof from Milwaukee always says, put a roof on it. You should put a roof on guaranteed rate, or the next ballpark the White Sox are going to have, so you can guarantee yourself a game every day.
And that saying makes sense, too, for Milwaukee, because they can truly just put the roof on it. They could just move the roof. Yeah. And I think that's an issue, especially with, with the project that we're seeing and all the fake AI generations of a ballpark that we do not need. They're not putting a roof on it.
No.
It rains in Chicago.
All the time.
We've learned about this. Getting Reinsdorf is a thing. Come in. Yeah, well, we welcome you into the gates.
Parking.
Buy all of our hot dogs and our beer.
And our campfire milkshakes.
For a game that's never going to happen. It's tough to get excited. There might be a game. There might not be a game. It's game 38 of the White Sox season. The White Sox are underdogs as Erick Fedde takes the bump for the Sox. Ben Lively takes the bump for the Guardians. You can get the White Sox at plus 137 over at our friends Circa Sports. I kind of have a feeling if they play, and you're right, it seems like maybe the 8:30 time could be when this game starts. I have a feeling they could win this game.
Me too. I think they have their best pitcher of this year. I know last outing he got lit up in that one inning, but Erick Fedde has been consistently the White Sox best starting pitcher, and so I think that they have the best chance of winning a game in this series, where the Cleveland Guardians are in the first place in the AL Central, is that first game versus the Cleveland Guardians. And Ben Lively, who was a journeyman that I had never heard of in my life before, even though he got drafted by these Guardians/Indians in 2010 his first time.
He got drafted
in high school.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because I was about to say, I wrote down he got in the fourth round of 2013. He got drafted out of UCF.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he went and got a degree. He's a well-traveled man.
Good job, Ben.
Ben Lively, two guys that have a very similar background. You got Ben Lively, who ended up going to the KBO for 3 years. You got Erick Fedde, who obviously went to the KBO as well. Lively selected in the fourth round of the 2013 draft out of UCF, made his major league debut in 2017 with the Phillies. Didn't really do too well, so he went to the KBO in 2019, stayed there until 2022, where he returned to AAA. Didn't even make it to the major leagues right away, but he did in 2023 with the Reds, and since then, with both the Reds and Guardians, he has a 94 ERA plus in his return to Major League Baseball, and I don't really know if this is going to be a sustainable 2.08 ERA for our pal Ben Lively.
No.
He throws 90. His average mile-per-hour fastball velocity for both the sinker and four-seamer is 90. He throws the sinker 33% of the time and the four-seamer 29% of the time. So it's not really an overwhelming fastball. Surprisingly, he's in the 90th percentile of fastball run value.
Okay.
So the fastball's been working well. It's just not really blowing people away. But barrel percentage 7.4% for Ben Lively. Major league average is 6.9%, and then you got the average exit velocity of 90.8 for Ben Lively. The MLB average is 88.5, so he's given about 2 miles per hour faster than the normal major league average. So I really don't understand this 2.08 ERA. We did see our guy Erick Fedde go up against the Cleveland Guardians, 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, 3 Ks, and 3 homers. One of those homers, though, was to Stephen Kwan, and Stephen Kwan won't be in this lineup. So it might be an easier way to fare for Erick Fedde tonight.
Yeah, and with that lively, so you're saying it's fastball. It's not that lively. Yeah. It's below the hitting speed. That's probably why. You've been facing 95-plus probably out of starters in the bullpen, and then you get to Ben Lively's spot, and he's throwing 90 and probably pinpoint control and faster sinker than usual. And it's probably just a very confusing at-bat for people. But, like you said, the American League and the whole league as a whole hasn't seen him a lot, as he just came back from the KBO a couple of years ago. And so I think eventually it'll get caught up. As you said, the 2.0, I don't think that'll last for that much longer. And the White Sox, as a team, I don't think they hit fastballs particularly well. Maybe they'll hit a slower fastball because it's right in their hitting speed. I know that yesterday where 91 up top of Aaron Savale was throwing that to who was it? Paul DeYoung, and then he tried to back it up with the 87-mile-per-hour cutter in that same area, crushed. So that's where the White Sox speed is at. So maybe today is a good day for Eloy Jiménez to finally catch up with some balls and hit them in the air, who this year, Eloy Jiménez has been absolutely horrendous in getting the ball in the air. We were talking about last year's ground ball rate. This year's higher. I think last year was like 53. I think it's like 54 right now. So we need him to get ball in the air, go far. He's not even leading the team in home runs anymore. That's Paul DeYoung.
That's the most surprising thing. So shout out to Paul DeYoung. I mean, he's just, Stephen Nicholas, our guy, Mr. Hockey, would tell you that that's just being an Illinois State Redbird right there for you. I don't know. I'm not too concerned about Eloy. We saw 2 hits yesterday with 111-mile-per-hour exit velocity. One of those almost went over Series head for a double. You look at the pulled fly ball percentage, and it's up more than what it was over the past 3 years. So I think there is something for Eloy to possibly break out here. So, knock on wood, hopefully that happens. But yeah, I mean, Paul DeYoung, I know he hit the homer last night, and you said he sped up his bat. But if you're just sitting at a single, 90-mile-per-hour velocity, I don't know if he can catch up to fastballs. I don't know if he sees those well.
Not the high ones.
I'm not excited that it really does feel like the White Sox lineup and their ability to produce runs is waning on not even 1 through 5. It's really 6 in Brian Ramos and 7 in Paul DeYoung, and maybe those guys can provide the pop.
And then when Corey Lee's in the game, maybe him.
You think he's going to get in the game?
No, I'm saying like if he ever gets
tomorrow.
In the game,
Not today.
Yeah, we depend on our rookie catcher, backup catcher, and guys who are off the scrap heap, and our rookie third baseman who was hitting under 200 in single A or double A, and he came up here and he's like, all right, I'm ready for the league. He's
got something to prove. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to let you know about our friends over at Leinenkugel. Herb will let you know about that, and I will let you know about our friends over at Prize Picks. Why don't we let you know about our friends over at Prize Picks First off, they're offering a free square for Caitlin Clark's debut game on Tuesday, May 14th. If Caitlin Clark gets at least 1 point, then the square wins. There's a timer on the square, so users must add it to the lineup before the timer ends, before her first game. So head over to Prize Picks and include this square into your entry. I made an entry of Caitlin Clark to score over half a point, and then Jalen Brunson on the game on Friday against Indiana to score over 35.5 points. So let's go. Maybe I can get that entry to be a winner. But for today, I'm going to go Ben Lively less than 5 Ks, Erick Fedde more than 4 Ks. I think with Stephen Kwan out of the lineup, it's going to be a game where Fedde keeps his pitch count down, so he's able to go a little bit deeper. And I think you're giving me a baseline of 4 Ks. He had 3 last time. I think he trusts his splitter. So let's go, Erick Fedde.
That sounds good. I mean, it's what? It pitches 5 innings. You're strikeout per inning. You're in the house.
It just needs 1. Prize Picks is the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America, and they are the easiest and most exciting way to play DFS. It's just you against the numbers. Instead of battling thousands of other players, including pros and sharks, you pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections like we just did with Ben Lively and Erick Fedde, and watch the winnings roll in. With baseball season officially underway, there is no better way to cash in on the action than Prize Picks. Add your favorite players from the Diamonds to your Prize Picks lineup all season long, whether it's strikeouts, RBIs, or first inning runs. Take your pick of more than or less than and add them to your Prize Pick lineup today. And as you can tell, it's very easy to submit your entry. You can get them submitted in less than 60 seconds. So go to prizepicks.com/CHGO and use code CHGO for a first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/CHGO and use code CHGO. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
I know it's a little gloomy outside, and that's why we have this delay because of the rain. But to me, and I think we're already hit there where we hit 70s and almost 80s yesterday, nothing says summer to me than drinking a delicious summer shandy from Leinenkugel's. And I know you're saying, Herb, hey, man, I love Leinenkugel's during the summer. That's the perfect mix of lemonade and a brew. But what can I drink when it's off season, when Leinenkugel's summer shandy is not available? Glad you asked. They have so many flavors for you out there. They definitely have the original lager, which I saw our guy Mailman Jack was asking about where you can find it in the Chicagoland area. And I'll get to that in a second, Mailman Jack. Light lager, Lakeside cherry, juicy peach, berry weiss, Northwoods amber, dark lager, and honey vice, which is made with real Wisconsin honey, so you know that it's good. And if you've tried any of their beers, you know that Leinenkugel's brings the flavor for whatever occasion that you are celebrating. For over 150 years, Leinenkugel has combined German brewing traditions with real Wisconsin innovation. You don't have to just pick one. Leinenkugel's popular variety packs come in four favorites to try and enjoy. Flavor life's simple moments with Leinenkugel's, the official craft beer of the Chicago White Sox. Go to Leinie.com/CHGO to find delivery options near you. That's LEINIE.com/CHGO, or pick up Leinenkugel pretty much anywhere that they sell beer. Leinenkugel's, flavor of the moment. Celebrate responsibly. The Jacob Leinenkugel Brewing Company, Chippewa Falls.
Yes.
Mercy.
Mailman Jack's asking, though, where he could purchase the original Leinie.
Yeah, I was in Wisconsin, came down when I was coming back to Chicago, went to the Mars Cheese Castle, and I bought it at the Mars Cheese Castle. I haven't seen it at a local place here in Chicago, but I saw somebody telling me that they have purchased it out in Aurora. So,
okay. Mailman
Jack, if you're close to the Aurora area, I'm sure if you go to the website, Leinie.com/CHGO, you can find where they do sell them.
And you can get them delivered, I think, just from the website. So there you go. So just go to Leinie.com. All right. I got to say something before we start this. A certain Chicago transplant that we work with wanted to try a popular pizza place. So we didn't get the typical Salerno's pizza. And I know you're not a fan of this particular place. And I cannot lie to the viewers out there. I am having heartburn like a MFer right now. And it was not like this before we started. And, of course, right when the mics go on, I feel like my heart is going to explode.
Do you want some water?
You need some antacid?
I was going to say, do you want me to grab you a water?
Not really. I mean, I'm just going to suffer and be fine. But, you're going to be probably in pain.
I love this place, though. I eat it all the time. I've been eating it for years. So I like it. I don't know why people give it hate.
I understand why people
love
it.
It's not good for you.
I love the place, but I've had some bad experiences individually at the place. So I'm not going to say what it was, but,
Hey. Alejandro,
I think it's delicious.
Alejandro guessed it correctly. It's Papa John's.
But of course, that's a Chicago.
God,
you think it's delicious?
I think the pizza's delicious. Yeah, but
I thought you didn't like it.
No, I've had
bad experiences
multiple times. It wasn't just a one-off.
Gotcha.
And I've asked other people if they had bad experiences, and surprisingly, yes, other people have had bad experiences too.
I like the and blank name saying standing up will help the heartburn. It does. I like the crust of this place.
Can't see it.
It's all right. I'd rather not feel like my heart's gonna explode. You guys get the bit, all right? It's a podcast mostly, so don't be too spoiled.
You don't need to see Sean's beautiful face.
I really like the caramelized crust of this place, but man, the sauce is getting to me. Let's look at some lineups, Herb, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's look at Cleveland's lineup first. Brian Rocchio is going to lead off for the Guardians and play shortstop. Batting second, Andres Jimenez at second base. Batting third, Jose Ramirez at third base. Batting fourth, Josh Naylor at first base. Batting fifth, we got David Fry in left field. Batting sixth, Will Brennan in right field. Batting seventh, Bo Naylor at catcher. Batting eighth, Tyler Freeman in center field. And batting ninth, the rookie, Kyle Manzardo, at DH. Ben Lively will be the pitcher. And then for the White Sox leading off, all in the family, Tommy Pham in center field, Gavin Sheets in right field, batting second, batting third, Andrew Vaughn playing first base.
Why?
Batting fourth, Eloy Jiménez, because he just had 3 hits. Didn't he just have a good game?
And he's still hitting under 200?
Probably. Everyone is. Eloy Jiménez batting fourth at designated hitter, batting fifth, Andrew Benintendi in left field, batting sixth, Brian Ramos at third base, batting seventh, Paul DeYoung at shortstop. Do you want Paul DeYoung to bat third?
I want... Yeah, him to
you don't.
Him to use the lineup as if, hey, this guy is hitting under 200 and has hit 0 home runs this year. Let's bat him third.
Nicky Lopez 8 and batting 8th, playing second base, and then Martin Maldonado batting 9th and catching. Erick Fedde is the starter. So you don't want to see Andrew Vaughn batting third. I mean, who do you want to see batting third? I mean, everyone's batting 200 or under 200. This team sucks.
Eloy is not batting under 200. I would say while Andrew Vaughn is struggling, which I know I'm a process of results guy, he did have a couple hard hit balls that were just running into gloves a couple days ago. But I want him to prove that he deserves to be the third hitter and hit a couple balls over the fence, please. Please, Jesus. I mean, if we're going to get the first 2 guys on, but Tommy Pham, our best hitter, and then Gavin Sheets, our maybe your second best hitter, let's have somebody drive them in with a long ball. Instead of Andrew Vaughn struggling and not doing the job that he's paid to do, is hit the ball to the fence every once in a while. And he's hit it 0 times this year.
Oh, is 0 homers? Hey, maybe Ben Lively's 90-mile-per-hour fastball will help him out. I don't know. I do feel like the White Sox are going to win. There's 2 lines that I do think that are interesting. Obviously, just the full game money line at plus 137. The White Sox, as Josh Nelson keeps touting, are undefeated against the spread when Erick Fedde takes the bump. I think he's 7-0 now against the spread. So you're getting a run and a half there to bet with the White Sox. But also in the first 4 innings, plus 160. You look at Lively's numbers, and I know the White Sox are nothing to write home about, but over the last 12 games, you got a team that's 6-6. It does feel like Tommy Pham's bringing a concerted amount of energy at the top of the lineup. Gavin Sheets has shown the ability to drive the ball the other way, and it's not just like what it was last year where he's just hitting slap singles the other way. And I do think that Eloy's a little bit better than what he's shown so far. So I think plus 160 for the White Sox to have the lead by the 4th inning. I mean, this seems like a game where the White Sox can have the lead through the first 5 innings, and then it's the bullpen that blows it. But I like Fedde versus Cleveland. He'll be able to show off that splitter a lot. I like the White Sox lineup against Ben Lively. If they play, maybe we'll see a White Sox win.
I mean, remember the time where he went against the Minnesota Twins and they kind of shelved all the people that they usually run, and he shelved his sweeper? Cleveland has 7 lefties in their lineup. Well, 2 switch hitters, but 7 lefties in their lineup versus Erick Fedde. That's what I worry about. He has to probably, again, shelf his sweeper and go back to the split change and use those type of pitches instead of one of the pitches that he developed out there in Korea and before he went to Korea, and that's worked well for him. So not having Steven Kwan in the lineup is always a great thing, but this Cleveland Guardians lineup, no matter who they're put in, I haven't heard of half of those people. Manzardo?
Well, he's new, and he's one of their top prospects.
It's a made-up guy, and he's going to come in here and just murder us. They just keep on doing it. They're like the Cardinals in that regard. Like,
Not with hitters.
They're just like, oh, here's a new guy that you've never heard of. I never heard of Steven Kwan a couple years ago. And that sumbitch is just lighting the world on fire. I had heard of Josh Naylor because I'm a Padres fan, and he wasn't that good at all as a Padre. And he comes over to Cleveland and is like, oh, I know how to hit now and hit hard.
Manzardo is who they got for Savale. So they traded Savale for Manzardo. So he's a Ray guy that they drafted in the 2nd round.
You know how I feel about Ray guys getting traded. And I know you're going to bring up your guy.
You think they stink?
Yes.
I mean, who's my guy? I don't even know.
No. I'm just like, whenever I say don't trade with the Rays, you say, oh, that guy is the exception, though.
Well, I mean, you got Tyler Glasnow. Glasnow's pretty decent. I mean, there's been times where the Rays haven't been perfect. I'm not against trading with the Rays. Maybe I don't like trading a Ray bat for a pitcher because they know what to do with those pitchers.
Yes.
I think that they've shown, Savale looks a lot better in a Ray uniform than he did with the Guardians.
Yes.
And Manzardo, I mean, hey, he's a big-ass lefty and he's batting 9th. Doesn't have to light the world on fire, but if he can go 1 for 3 and drive it around, I think the Guardians will take that. It's all about just, moving station to station with the Guardians. It's not about hitting these fancy home runs. You don't need that in 2024 baseball.
I mean, the White Sox don't do either.
Just got to do that first to third and steal.
Yeah,
the guy on first is going to steal second.
Like, we're trying to be the Guardians, but we're not getting Guardians type players. Getting old players who we're trying to trade into relievers like we got yesterday.
And Tommy Pham, you're going to bash him before he hits a homer today?
Yeah, because his home runs here are useless.
That's not true.
They're useless.
That's not true. We're going to get a reliever, a guy that's probably going to be, we're probably going to get the equivalent to Cole Reagans for Tommy Pham.
I mean,
no?
That would be great, but no, we're not going to get that. No.
And they traded him for Aroldis Chapman.
Yeah, Aroldis Chapman is a highly coveted player.
He's a reliever.
Once you get him, you're going to win the World Series that year.
I guess.
You traded for him. The Cubs did that, and so did the Rangers. Championships.
All right, well, so the White Sox should call up Pittsburgh right now, get Aroldis Chapman on this team, and as Herb just foretold the prophecy, the 2024 White Sox will win the World Series.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
That's all you have to do.
Just trade Jake Eater for him.
No.
Well, because I'm just thinking of who's our Cole Reagans.
Who's going to turn into a champion after he leaves? I'm trying to think who has premium stuff. I would think Michael Kopech will definitely turn into somebody's good pitcher after he leaves the White Sox.
Yeah.
A good starter.
His stuff has been impressive, but still, I mean, the guy can't throw a slider for his life.
I'm sure somebody's going to shape that slider. I
Here's
mean,
some fat
I know that
fastballs.
Dylan Cease is better than Michael Kopech and better than most pitchers in the world. Last year he looked lost, and probably this team messed him up. But once Ruben Nabla got a hold of him and his offseason work that he did by himself with in Georgia, the man looks like a different pitcher. He looks like he's commanding what's going on in the batter's box instead of reacting to what the hitters are doing to him. Yesterday I went to go and see him versus the Cubs, and the Cubs are no bad team. They had good hitters, and Cody Bellinger was back in the lineup. He made him look really dumb.
Well, I don't know if it's the White Sox and him getting away from the White Sox, because Sox Machine brought this up on their podcast yesterday after the Rays series concluded. I mean, the White Sox gave Dylan Cease's offseason plan, and we saw him with the White Sox in spring training look dominant. I mean, that was part of the reason why San Diego traded for him. I think that they've probably influenced his use of a sweeper more,
yes,
which has been interesting. But we made this argument for the whole time this offseason. We put Dylan Cease in pretty much every single headline of our podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, he has shown that he can go out there and throw innings. He's going to go out there and he's going to start every single game for you. And he's going to be trying to work on that stuff and trying to get back to where that slider was in 2023.
You remember all those people?
Here he goes.
All those people were like, oh, Dylan's a mid-pitcher.
Yeah.
Remember all many times that Oriole fans or Yankee fans or Texas Ranger fans are like, oh, that's a mid-pitcher. Now look at what they're doing.
Well, and that's the thing, too, is like I look back in my reaction to the Cease trade, and I think I said B+, A-. And I think if they held on to him and they still had him in May, they probably could have got that A+ return if they held on to Dylan Cease. He was pitching like this with the White Sox.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big risk that the White Sox didn't want to take. They got the pitchers and the players that they wanted, and I'm happy with the return so far. And I know that Iriarte is a little wild, but I think you can harness that wildness, and you got a pitcher in there in Drew Thorpe. What's the holdup?
I think it's
bring him up.
Good that no one can hit Iriarte.
Yeah,
as long as he can hit the zone, he should be fine. But
just where's the ball going?
Right. Zavala's got me a little concerned, but he's still young, so we'll see how that ends up playing out. All right, you got a prediction for today, and then we'll get into our click to pick as well.
Yeah, I think the White Sox are going to win this game 6-3.
Will they play the game?
Yeah, they'll play the game,
okay,
definitely. I think Erick Fedde is going to pitch 6 innings, give up nothing, and then the bullpen's going to give up a couple at the end of the game when the White Sox can get a couple of insurance runs in the 8th inning and win this game.
And then click to pick, what's the situation? We got Sam as our Discord pitcher. You can sign up to be a diehard today and join our Discord. But we got Sam as our guest picker. You want to go through the picks for today?
Yeah, Sam went with Paul DeYoung, who has a weighted value of 4 points today. So if Sam or Paul DeYoung were to do what he did the last 2 days, where he was the click-to-pick winner, Sam would get 4 points. I have Tommy Pham. He is only a 1 weighted run today. So if I were to win and Tommy Pham were to have a good game today, the best game of any White Sox hitter, when they score a run, I would get 1 point. Sean, of course, is going with Andrew Benintendi. He has 6 points on his value. And then Vinny has Brian Ramos, who has 5 points next to his name. So any of our guys win, we get the points associated with their name. It's a weighted system where it makes it more equitable and fair. At the end of the week, which is Sunday, whichever one of us has the most points, they win. And if it's one of the diehard members, they win a T-shirt. I sent one out just this past weekend to, even though he tied, I messed it up.
I should have been the winner.
Nate from San Diego, he's usually in this Discord, in this chat right here. I messed up early in the week and miscalculated, so I said, I'm going to send you a T-shirt anyways, Nate. And AJ is our only actual winner of this contest. We've been going for like 6 weeks now. I sent him a shirt a long time ago. So if you want to be a person that battles with us, come on through to the diehard.
ALLCHGO.com. All right, let's look at this radar. I know Benny's going to lead the White Sox to a win. Probably going to drop like 11 runs today. I think White Sox win 11-3. I think it's a big game for the Sox today. But there's our lovely, beautiful Chicago, and you could see it covered and all that.
That's a lot of rain.
Green and yellow. Yes, it is. Could you hit that play button? It says rain ending in a minute. I don't think it's gonna. So here right now is about 5:40. This is what's gone through Chicago. Right now around 6:30 seems like it's going to be clearing out. I don't know if you can back up if there's going to be more. It seems like some develop still in the 7:30 area, and maybe we'll still get hit around 8. But yeah, it still seems like it will be present and in the area at 8 o'clock. I know that there was some circling and swirling of this system, and hopefully it just doesn't linger over Chicago and more doesn't develop, and we can play this game before 7:30. That would be great. Why not?
Oh, my goodness. That'll be so great. And hopefully it's an under 2-hour game. They have to make up for all the time they were going to be messing us up on the front end and then finish the game at a respectable time, maybe 10 o'clock.
Only hits are home runs and no walks, and everyone's swinging first pitch.
Baby.
Let's go. Follow Herb at Eknerwall23 for his in-game thoughts. You can follow me at Sean_W_Anderson. Follow the show at CHGO_White Sox. Thank you to Sarah for producing the show, and thank you to everyone for watching, and also for the heartburn tips. If you haven't hit the like button, make sure that you do. We appreciate Rick, Derek, Alejandro, and everyone else like KPW for hanging out with us in the chat. Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you post-game. Goodbye.
We all silly like the mayor.